and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our very first edition of a brand new tournament series, a brand new show match series. Welcome to the very first Club NV X Duckling Showdown number 1. I'm of course your host, Light VIP, and with me I'm joined by my plushies, by the lovely people in the chat, and by these amazing players as well. For those that are curious, of course, Club NV, used to be Team NV, did reach out about wanting to host a show match series. For those that are curious, last year, Team NV, they actually used to go by Team Abydos last year, and they of course had a team. They competed in WTL. They ended up losing their main sponsor, and as a result they don't actually have their main roster anymore. Cure was kind of let go. He was picked up by Team Liquid. Nightmare was let go. He was picked up by Maturino. They still support Creator. They still support a couple of players, but they just didn't have the funds to upkeep their team. But what they do have is enough for some weekly show matches, and that is where we come in as well to help bring those show matches to you. Like Club NV, they still want to support the scene, they still want to support some of their old players in the Korean scene, so we are providing for this show match series instead to kind of supplement that. And we have our first two players. We have our two players for this week's edition. We have Cure and DRG. Of course, both players used to be on Club NV back in the day. Both DRG and Cure were once on the team, and they're going to be featured here tonight. Now, when it comes to the future of this series, it doesn't just have to be ex-Club NV players or current Club NV players, but that's kind of what the focus will be on, alongside other people coming in. And they're more than willing to bring in players like Scarlet, bring in players like some of the Europeans, even like Max Pax, even like Clem, if they're willing to take part in this. So yeah, we'll see how far we can go and who we can kind of bring into the foray and who we can feature as well. Just to reiterate, this is going to be a weekly series. Every single week at this time slot we will have these show matches, and we're a little bit flexible with it as well. We're willing to have multiple people on, not just a singular 1v1, but maybe multiple best of 7s, maybe more of like a group stage round robin or group stage GSL format, depending on how many players we can get involved and how many players are free. Currently it's going to be one best of 7 tonight between Cure and DRG. Next week we have multiple players ready and lined up for multiple best of series, so just as a heads up, and something to look forward to as well in the coming weeks. Speaking of big shout out to Dally Cat in the chat. Oh, May, thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. We do appreciate the support as always. 69 months. Those that are curious, Dally, she was here from the beginning, from almost the very beginning. So thank you so much for the support always. Not 69, true. So close. But thank you so much. Fellow Cranky Duckling, actually. Fellow Cranky Duckling. Sally is technically a part of the Ducklings. Vindicta show match when true, we can get Migs involved. That can happen. Let's go. Shout out to Oz Big Blue. Happy New Year's, everyone. Hey Baby Ling, hey Lights, and everyone. Hope you all have an awesome year. Oh, thank you so much. I wish you to have an amazing year as well, an amazing 2024. Best of luck. Almost 69. Hope you stop can rushing and sky chasing. True, it's a problem. it's aye. But yes, tonight it is going to be a best of 7 here between Cure and DRG. Currently, the vetoes are underway. I saw a couple of people asking, is there going to be anything different about this show match? Is it going to be anything spicy? Outside of it being a best of 7, which means each player gets 1 veto each before we get into the map picks. We're not going for any kind of crazy map pool or extended map pool or anything like that. The ladder maps will be getting involved here for the most part between both Cure and DRG. So that is what we're going to be focusing on here, at least for now. Again, we're more than willing to be a little bit flexible when it comes to the coming weeks and future editions of the tournament. So yeah, look forward to it. Also, a big shout out not to just ourselves, not to just Club NV, but a big shout out to Into the Inu. Inu is going to be casting in Korean. It's going to be bringing us some Korean coverage over on his own Twitch channel. Currently Twitch, maybe in the future switching to a different platform. But yeah, is going to be alongside us, bring you as much content as we can. And here we go. It looks like our players are ready, and we are getting into game number 1. Game 1 will be on Equilibrium. Let's go. Equilibrium here up first. And yeah, I do love that we're going to be able to feature these players, especially, look, I'm a little bit of a fan. I've become a bit of a fan over the past couple of months, but specifically Dongregu has been improving so much, and I do think he is overshadowed. Currently, he is teamless, and I guess this is another opportunity for us to showcase him and to hopefully help him look for a team. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Equilibrium, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg, representing himself, looking for a team. It is DRG. And if you're in the chat, predictions will soon be open. Predictions will soon be open, so you can place your bets on how you think this series will unfold and who you think will come out in this best of 7. As a reminder, it's going to be a long series here. Best of 7 could go the distance, could go all 7 matches. So best of luck. Best of luck with your predictions. I'm just getting it ready. Bam, there we go. So you have a couple of minutes upon hearing this message to place your bets on who you think will come out on top. Good luck. Best of luck. As we do get into this so far, standard openers, we do have a hatch gas pool opener here from DRG. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. Likewise, we do have Cure coming in as well with a Rax. Oh, no, sorry. I was about to get into like my automated response. Not a Rax expand, that is a CC first. Very greedy opener here from Cure. Already starting things off a little bit spicy here. Cutting some corners and taking some risks. Again, no SCV scout. Obviously delayed Reaper. Could even go Marine first instead. Very greedy opener. But you can go away with something like this on a larger map. Maps like Algione, maps like Equilibrium, maps like Radisson Station. Again, long rush distance by ground means, and not just that, but also depending on your opponent, the likelihood of you being rushed and being punished for this is quite low. It is going to be quite low. I would say that this is a risky thing to do against a player like Dark, for example, maybe even Rainer as well. But when it comes to more standard players like DRG or Solar or even Serral, you can get away with things like this, and you can get away with cutting corners. So a nice cheeky opener here, CC first out of Cure, and again, he will not be punished for it. Oh my god! Oh my god! Speaking of being greedy, we are going not just for a CC first, we are going into a third base before factory. This is as greedy as you can get in a TvZ. This is wild. This is crazy. Again, third CC before starport, I mean, that's economic. Third CC before factory, again, this is just, this is crazy. Cure, calm down, Bobby, calm down. So Giga Greed coming out here from Cure here on Equilibrium, and again, depending on who you're up against, like, this is something you can get away with. If your opponent isn't going to be hyper aggressive, if they're not going to be all in, if they're not going to be punishing you, then, I mean, cut all the corners you want. Now, DRG can punish you if he's aware of what's going on, but that's a big if. The other downside here about this map is the Overlord pillar is very far out, so your Overlord it takes a little bit more here to actually get a scout off, to actually get into the main base and get a read on what's going on. Oh my god. It's 3cc before factory into a 3-1-1 setup here. Okay, so it's a very greedy opener, getting into something very, so I want to say aggressive. Very much so. We're going to be opening up double Cyclone. This should be double Cyclone into Hellions, by the way. So these Cyclones and Hellions are going to be gaining map control. Because we're delaying the starport, that means obviously no Banshee potential, but it means faster Stim. Stim is going to be on the way, and we are building up a very hefty bio army before we get into any kind of medevac production. So it's going to mean that the eventual push is going to be delayed because the medevacs are delayed, but when the push arrives, it's going to be that much stronger. Going to be that much stronger, that much larger, that much harder. Here we go. We have the first two Cyclones. We have Hellions behind this. For those that are curious, this Cyclone Hellion opener is designed to hunt down Queens and Overlords. Any stray Overlords like this one are going to be focused down. So a very cheeky opener here by Cure, and it looks like we will focus it down. Not enough agent for Transfuse. The Overlord will fall, and with this, we look around, we maraud around for another Overlord, and we do find one here, but alas, Cure is still on the hunt. Meanwhile, Cure has to be very careful. Again, Lings can get us around. These Cyclones are very vulnerable without their Hellions to support, and even then, we only have 2 Hellions, so they are very vulnerable to Link surrounds, depending on how deep we go. So Cure has to be very careful with his movements. Likewise, DRG also has the potential for us around. Here we go. We have additional Hellions coming into support. Behind this, of course, Stim production about to finish up. We do have our add-on swap. Looks like we're going to be swapping the Starport with the factory, and there we go. Now the first 2 medevacs are going to be on the way, and we are building up that army. Marines, Hellions. We do have double eBay behind this. Again, to upgrades is not going to be an all-in by any means. Again, we have the faster third base, which is now being taken. Secure, really making some moves right now. Meanwhile, DRG has just been happily droning, taking his 4th base. He's been playing pretty by the book here, and which is why Cure is kind of getting away with quite a bit. We'll see how DRG can punish it once he gets kind of online, once he gets active on the map. 1-1 is going to be on the way. Likewise, Cure wasn't the only one cutting corners. DRG also. The big thing that happened here, as a couple of Lings are going to get shaved off, is that DRG delayed his lair. His lair is late. His Bailey Nest is late. They're late because of the fast 1-1, because of the fast Evo chambers here from DRG, so he will get into upgrades much faster. Meanwhile, at the same time, a big Link counterattack getting to the mineral line. But there are plenty of Marines here to defend. Overlord are going to be going down. The Lings, they get 1 SCV kill, and they get forced back. At the same time, we're catching the Lings. Cure coming in from the right-hand side, catches the Lings here with his Hellions, with his Cyclones as well. Big pick-off here from Cure. Reinforcements come in, but good control here. Cure, he does pull away those Cyclones. Cyclones are pulled away. Queens coming in. Clutch transfuses here by DRG, but without Lings, we cannot hold on. And this army is massive. Again, Stim is done. We dive on forward. We focus down the Queens. We focus down the Overlords. And this push may just be too much. Yeah, there's just not enough to defend. The 1-1 upgrades, they are just not done. We need a little bit more time. GG gets called, and Cure comes out swinging with a 1-0 lead. Whew. GG. Oh, it's very impressive. GG, well played. Cure having a very greedy opener, following it up again with a delayed push. But as we spoke about it, as we mentioned, when it comes to this delayed push, it hits that much harder. That many more Marines. Of course, you have the Cyclones to support. You have Stim hitting hard. You have the medevacs as well. And yeah, a very powerful push there from Cure. Also, unfortunate that DRG got caught out. Remember, he got surrounded after the Link counterattack failed. He got caught out by the Hellions, and Cure looking dominant in that first game, but a lot of that did come down to the map, did come down to the opener, did come down to the build, and I don't think we're going to be seeing that again. At least, unless we load into another large map. I'm talking about Alkione or Radisson Station. Ooh. So we'll see where this does take us. Again, a strong game 1, but we're going to be getting into game number 2, and we're going to be getting into a map that I'm sure DRG will be a lot more comfortable on. We're going to be loading into a smaller map, more compact map, Golden Aura. Let's go. Let us go. So we are just diving right on into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing himself, currently teamless. It is DRG. There we go. Catching up with the chat. The third CC is going to be done at the same time as the third. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, what Cure did in game 1 was wild. And if you're a fan of Cure, and if you look at that first game, and if you want to emulate that... Oh no! I was concerned it was me for a moment there. No, Bobby! Unfortunately, having a little bit of latency issues, and hopefully we're able to bounce back here. We might remake, depending on the situation, and depending on what's going on. But when it came to that first game... Oh, as we... As yeah, we just sort some things out here, and we will be remaking. we'll remake. But when it came to that first game, again, if you want to emulate that, be careful. Be very careful. Because that build of choice in game 1 was very much so like something that a player like Kira can pull off. Not something I would recommend for the ladder. Not something that you can necessarily get away with. As it looks like we are getting things back. We are getting Inu back online as well. Inu, of course, he's our Korean caster. Inu is our Korean caster, and unfortunately he did disconnect in that second game, but we're going to be bringing him back, and we're going to be getting back into game number 2. Also, I was just confirming as well, the format here is loser's pick. So this is going to be DRG's map of choice. Both players vetoed one map each, and that was Hardlead alongside Radisson Station. So 2 maps are vetoed, and everything else, loser's pick. Let's go. Every other map is up for grabs. I was also told that Game 1 Equilibrium was picked by DRG to kick things off. So it did start things on Equilibrium, and here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Kyor. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerga player representing himself, currently teamless, currently looking for a team. It is DRG. And this is going to be DRG's second map of choice here. And can we bring it back? And again, the greed from Kyor in that last game is something that we shouldn't be seeing again. Not at least not on Golden Aura, especially Golden Aura. The rush distance by ground is much shorter on this map. Aggression is definitely favored in some ways. I say in some ways because your 3-base setup is actually very well fortified. Your natural and your third base are very close together, and the ramp coming into the third is very narrow as well, so you can actually be pretty well fortified on 3 bases. When you take a 4th base, you become a little bit more exposed, as said, let alone a 5th base. Don't worry about the 5th base, but the 4th can be more exposed as well, and you can be spread a little bit too thin here, so we can definitely try to abuse that when we get to that stage of the game. As a result, because of how close these bases are, we have seen a lot of Zerg players actually open up gasless on this map in ZVT. It's scary, but we have seen players like Dark, players like Raynor as well, going for very greedy openers against Terran players, going for something like delayed gases here and delaying them even until you get your 3rd base up and running to get into Roach play. From here, we can see a standard opener out of DRG, so we're not going gasless. It's going to be Hatch Gas Pool. Again, DRG, I'm sure he just wants to get into his game, get into his groove. Meanwhile, Kira coming in with an SCV Scout. So this time a much more standard opener. It's going to be a Rax Expand out of Kira, going for a Reaper opener, going for his SCV Scout. So this is what you expect to see. Like, this is standard opener out of Kira, as opposed to whatever the hell we saw last game. It's crazy. It was crazy. We can see the SCV patrolling here towards the south. DRG takes the triangular third as his 3rd base. He's going to get it unmolested, uncontested, as the Reaper has arrived. And we should just be having this little dance here between the Lings and Reapers. We should not be losing a drone. And in a couple of seconds, the Queen will arrive, and we will be able to swat this away. One Ling did fall, so at least the Reaper gets a little bit of value. Gets a little bit of extra damage done. Meanwhile, back at home, it is going to be a 3rd CC before starport. Again, a much more standard macro-oriented build. Very economic. I wouldn't call this greedy, just economic overall. Kind of what you would be seeing in a more standard game here. Interesting positioning. Okay, we do pull back that Rax. It is going to be that starport with the Rax location. This looks like a Banshee-based opener where you can start up the tech lab and then go for an add-on swap. looking to be Banshees, but we'll see. So far, the Reaper dipping in a little bit further here, taking a lot of hits. It's going to be forced back. Meanwhile, there's that Tech Lab on the way, so we should be seeing an add-on top, should be Banshee play. And Banshee play is just a very safe way to open up with 3CC. It keeps you safe against Roach-based openers and Roach-based aggression. And it also allows you to harass a little bit across the map as well. Allows you to apply pressure to the main, third, the mineral lines in general. And if we commit to Banshees, we can even threaten Queens. And there it is, Banshees are on the way. Behind this, getting into Marine production, getting into Bioplay. Third CC soon to be up and running. And it's going to be on Cure to try to keep the creep in check and look for an opening here with his Hellions. As the Hellions going to be vying for map control, the Queen so far keeping up with the rotations, forcing back those Hellions. I believe one tumor did get picked up, but only one tumor so far. As DRG is just droning up. And if DRG were to skip or were to delay his Baneling Nest and delay his lair and go into faster 1-1, I would favor that kind of play a lot more here in game number 2 against this kind of opener. But we'll see. We'll see if he plays greedy or plays safe. A safer opener would be to start up the lair about now, and there it is. The lair should be starting now. Okay, there we go. The lair first here from DRG. He's not racing into fast 1-1 like we saw in Equilibrium. It is going to be a very safe opener. Now, by the time the lair is halfway done, we should be throwing down the Baneling Nest. There it is. Baneling Nest is thrown down. And this should be lined up here, so when the lair finishes, we can start up Baneling speed. So again, just a secure way to play here in Zerg versus Terran. Behind this, we do have our third CC being landed on location. Banshees that have hit the field. Now, Cure, he was actually banking up his Banshees, waiting for the second one. Cloak is now done, and 2 Banshees do one-shot workers. So they're going to be zooming across the map. The Link Scout does confirm the Banshee-based opener, so DRG is fully aware. He already has Spores in position. Spore at the third, in the main, and at the natural. Now, it's not just about the Spores, though. We do need the Queens in position as well. So DRG, he has the tools to defend, but can he use them? As the Banshees, they dip into the main base. 3 Queens in position, likewise 3 Queens here at the third base as well. And we have 3 Queens to maraud between the bases. So far, good positioning. Banshees come in, they do get 1 drone. They get 1 worker so far. They get forced back. And DRG is going to be safe here on 3 bases. Now taking a 4th base, droning up to 70 already. Did I say 70? Droning up to 80 at this point. Very heavily droning here for DRG. Very risky. If the Hellions went for a dive, then honestly, DRG, he does have a decent amount of links. I was like, would he even be able to survive that? He's got a decent link count. Would be okay. 1-1 in production. There's Bathing Speed. Halfway done at this point. DRG is oversaturated, but he's just waiting for the 4th base to get up and running, and then we'll main out over. And DRG just very quickly droning up to 80 here. And it's going to be whether or not he can hold against the next push. And did I say push? Actually, instead of going for a 7-minute push, we already have the 4th CC on the way. Cure looking for a later game. He is being active, don't get me wrong. He's pushing out with a double drop, but he's keeping his tanks back at home. He's not committing, he's only being active with drop play. Which means now it's DRG's turn to get away with this. Again, he's already on 80 workers. He's already got his upgrades on the way. We have the Hydrogen as well. This is even more greedy as well, just taking up even further. Parceling Bane. It's one of those things where if Cure did commit to a stronger push on 3 bases, then taking up to something like Hydras like this and droning up to 80 can kill you. And we've seen it. We've seen Zergs die doing this as well. But so far, DRG is getting away with it, and again, Cure, he's taking a more defensive, macro-oriented approach in Game 2. And in a couple of moments, DRG is going to explode. He's going to explode macro-wise. Like, his army is going to get out of control here. He's double expanding, taking a 5th and a 6th base as well. The passivity here of Cure is soon to be punished. I'm sure Cure was hoping that maybe DRG would be a little bit more tentative in his approach, especially after game 1. But yeah, this is getting a bit much here. We'll see if we get an infestation bit soon for Hive Tech. Creep is going to be spreading. The Banshee is still being active. We do see a second army moving out again. We are still keeping the tanks back at home. We're just moving out with a double drop on the right hand side and a double drop towards the left. This one with Widow Mines. Duckling Bane Cure asleep at the wheel here. He does get caught out. Marine's going to be going down. The Hellbats on their own can't really threaten too much. And DRG is going to keep on pushing. He finds the tanks. Can he get them though? The tanks are a little bit exposed, but there just isn't enough Link Bane. At the same time, a double drop going into the main. DRG a little bit out of position. He did overextend across the map, didn't get the tanks. At the same time, Hellbats, they push towards that 5th base. The Queens are in position. Clutch Transfuse, the Queens will hold. At the same time, though, the double drop getting out of hand. The Hellbats, they do nothing, but the double drop gets into the main base. Where are the Banelings? Where are the Banelings just now coming in? Cure, he is going to be forced back. Is going to be forced back, and so far DRG is holding. Again, he's got a solid economy behind this. He is going to be maxing out on Link Bane, a Hydra. There's that Hive on the way. The Hive could have been done a little bit earlier, but regardless, is in production. And so far, DRG is holding. So far. Again, Cure, he's looking to try and test the multitasking of DRG. The Hellbats, they did survive. Not a lot of Banelings. Oh, we do get the surround. The Marines are going to be saved. A mine shot's going to be going up. Good splits here from DRG, avoiding those mines. And does force back the army. Cleans up the Hellbats, cleans up the Widow Mines. Meanwhile, Cure reinforcing on the right-hand side instead. Creep is going to be pressing forward. And once again, oh my god. DRG threatening a counterattack. Is going to be forced back. The tanks are still in position. They were repaired. At the same time, Cure pushing on the right-hand side, drawing away the attention of DRG. Link Bane amassing. Widow Mines are set. There are 2 mines. Some okay connections, but for the most part, DRG did avoid them. At the same time, he catches a drop here on the left. Marines did go down, and now we are pushing towards the planetary. Do we have enough on the ground? Widow Mines will not go off. Bailey's they get into the mineral line, but alas, the planetary will hold. Again, we spoke about it, but this position specifically is very well fortified. The narrow choke point, the ramp, the planetary, center tower, tanks as well. There's no pushing up this ramp, not easily. Oh my god! Finally, what we've been waiting for. Big mine shot goes off. 10 kills, most of them Banelings. Cure taking a good trade here on the right-hand side. DRG going to be reinforcing. Those Banshees from earlier are still wreaking havoc. Detection is on the way. Hive is done. We have Adrenal. Vipers are in production. Still no 3-3, not yet. We're working on a +2. The upgrades of DRG lagging a little bit behind that of the Terrans, as 3-3 is well underway for Cure. And again, Cure continuing to go for the split pushes. Strong army towards the left and right-hand sides of the map. And he has spotted that gold base. Cheeky maneuver here from DRG will not get away with it. And again, DRG, he's aware of the positioning of this army. There are 3 mines. Oh! Far decent connections. Mine shots will go up. But no big connections to the Banelings. It looks like we will force this back. A lot of medevacs, but just not enough on the ground. DRG trading. Well, we do need detection, hopefully, soon. Otherwise, these Widow Mines will reset. At the same time, Cure taking another base. Getting a 5th and soon to be a 6th base as well. This is dangerous. So something that's been happening, both players have been trading armies back and forth, that is true. DRG does have a bank to work with, but Cure, his bases are going by uncontested. We've seen a couple of times DRG try to threaten the planetaries, but he hasn't really crippled the economy, and he needs to. We need to do something about the economic situation here. He does try to catch these Marines. Oh! Doesn't get them. Does not get them. And again, as a result, Cure, he's maxed out alongside DRG. Cure has a more efficient army. And he's working towards his next step. Liberators. We have advanced ballistics on the way. Liberator range, I should say, in production. Lib Ghost is kind of the end game that Cure is looking for. And Lib Ghost would be ideal against all things Hive. Speaking of, we have a Lurker Den and an Ultra Cavern on the way. And what does well against Ghosts, sorry, against Lurkers and Ultras? Ghosts and Libs. Same time, here we go, pushing on the left-hand side. The Vipers have arrived. We yoink the Liberators. Baileys, they will connect, and the planetary will go down. Nice cleanup on the planetary, but we didn't kill the workers. That's the problem. The SCV count of Cure is still looking strong. The Vipers, they barely will escape. At the same time, we catch 1 medevac. Not too many Marines inside, but a decent pickoff nonetheless. Here going to be gaining ground here towards the left. DRG still trying to keep up. And he's going to be committing. It looks like he can take down another base, this time with workers. There we go. 9 SCVs go down the planetary as well. At the same time, we do catch this army. I believe that was a kill. Yeah, that was a kill, not a cancel on the hatchery. Both players going to be hurting. DRG finding another base. Forces a cancel. Does force a cancel. Going to be committing. He's not looking. Well, the ghosts are going to be going down again. We're focusing here towards the left-hand side, and DRG is getting out of control. He takes out a mineral line. He's going for another planetary. And can he get it? It looks like he cannot. A bit of an overextension here from DRG. But he does get damage done. That's going to be the death of 2 planetaries here towards the north and south, and 16 SCVs. From here, DRG backs off. He remaxes, he rebuilds. We've got kindness plating on the way. We have lurker range as well. DRG taking into hive tech. Meanwhile, ghost production has commenced. Ghost liberators. You can see that Q is trying to fortify this position. Center towers, turrets on the way, planetary as well. Now, this is a difficult position to hold, just because there's multiple angles of attack. You can attack from the left and the right-hand side. And we're not in position yet. Mine shot's going to be going up, big blinding clouds. But the concave is real, and DRG, can he fight here? He's going for it. Bailey's going to be rolling in. Widowmine shots going up on the Ling Bane as well, and it looks like the Hydras are breaking through. We're getting some of the Medivacs. More than anything, Medivacs are going down. Oh, the Liberators, they walk in as well, but it looks like, yeah, we run out of Ling Bane. DRG has to back off. That was a decent trade with the army. Again, DRG did kill some Medivacs, which he's been struggling to kill throughout this game. But he lost a lot of Hydras in the process. Both players are hurting. Cure not stopping here with his production. Pushing onto creep. Meanwhile, Ultras have arrived. Ultras can work in this position. A lot of it does come down to the engage. Does come down to whether or not the Liberators are in position, whether or not they're sieged. Well, as we do dive on top of the CC. Mine shot's going to be going off. We do get into the mineral line as well. There's going to be a costly trade here for DRG. 14 SCVs go down, and now we back off. Oh, Bailings did overextend. This wasn't a bad trade for DRG, but he traded against the economy, and Cure's army is looking terrifying. And does DRG have enough to defend? He needs time right now. He needs to remax and rebuild. Just try to catch the army. He comes in from a flank. The Liberator's out of position, but the Ultras, they just melt. They melt against the Marauders, against the Ghosts. And it looks like Cure, he has too much. He's breaking through. Again, DRG was trading his army for economy. And with that, Cure is getting out of control. Takes down a base. And there's no pushing into this. The freedom is here. The liberation zones are becoming too much. The Viper count was reset, so we are rebuilding Vipers. The goal base is up and running for now. I should emphasize for now. Like run by, comes into reinforcements. And this gold base is going to be shut down. We're not just going to shut down the gold, we're taking it for ourselves. As Cure, he's taking the gold base. CC is soon to land. Now, this is giving DRG some time to rebuild. He is recovering here with his army, but he just doesn't have a bank. Not anymore. His economy not looking good either. We lost this space early. We never rebuilt it. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, DRG on 2 base mining. Less than 2 base economy, actually. Minerals are running out. He's taking top right. Trying to. We're going to be main-outing our drones over, but DRG, he doesn't have the economy to remax, and Cure does. Especially with the gold, which he will soon take. So Cure is remaxed. DRG is struggling. And again, Cure has a more efficient army. DRG, he needed a better economy to be able to out-trade his opponent. But speaking of a better economy, he can't even mine from his base. DRG stuck on almost 1.5 bases at this point. 1.5 base economy. No mining here whatsoever. Not anytime soon. We have more Liberators on the way, and DRG, he just has no answer. He's run out of steam. He did well. He was keeping up with Cure, but remember, it just took a little bit too long to punish these bases and to really stifle the economy of Cure. He just got out of hand. He just got out of control. Yeah, another Liberator rocking up. Drones are going to be going down. Oh god. Yeah, and with this, it's just going to be a battle of attrition at this point. Like, Cure, he's maxed out. He's getting out of hand. He can take a fight and rebuild again. Meanwhile, DRG cannot. Does catch an army. Good power bombs. Very nice power bombs, actually, on these medevacs. That was a good fight here. Oh, taking down another medevac. That was a good fight for DRG. But he needs to do that again. At least 2 or 3 more times. Like, that's... that's the beginning. It doesn't even matter. I mean, we have the gold base, and that tells a story here. The Terran with the gold is not something a Zerg ever wants to see, and DRG just can't do anything about it. Cannot touch this base, cannot touch this location. Is going for a counterattack, is going for that third base. Even if we take down this base, there's only 2 patches. Like, we're not really protecting anything here. Bailey's going to be rolling in. Connecting with the Widow Mines. We do deny this base, but again, there's barely any mining here. It's not that important. Not to Cure. So we are breaking on through again, shutting down more of these CCs. DRG once again bleeding out Ling Bane here for 9 SCVs. And DRG, he just can't take a head-on fight. Liberators are going to be reinforcing. Best case scenario is if DRG can like find the army out on the map on creep. Oh, we do have a couple of fungals. Infestors are available. Okay, I see you. If we can land a juicy fungal, then maybe. Well, here we go. Big yoinks here on the Liberators. Ling Bane gonna be charging on forward, trying to dive on top of the army. Oh, the Ultra's lagging behind. The Infestor trying to get a fungal. We missed the fungal. We do not connect. And we have to back off. We have to retreat from here. The Infestor did go down. DRG gonna have to pull back. He cleaned up a lot of Liberators, I will say that. I want to say 4, maybe 5 Liberators went down in that fight. But again, because of the goal base, here he can afford it. He can afford to lose all his libs. He can rebuild. DRG going for a run by. But there's a Planetary and a Widow Mines and a Liberator as well. And there's no touching the space. We're gonna try to, but Liberation has arrived. The freedom. It's here, Papi. The Ultras, they're gonna melt here against those ghosts. Trying desperately to escape. At the same time, DRG desperately going for a counterattack. Trying to force Cure to turn back around. But GG gets called. The writing was on the wall, and Cure will take game number 2. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was a back and forth. DRG was keeping up for a lot of that game, for the first half, maybe first 70% of that game. But thereafter, we saw that Cure was able to get away with his economy, was able to establish his 5th and his 6th base. As the 6th was being denied, again, DRG was bleeding out a lot and was never able to really deal any critical economic damage. Never really got into a mineral line. Was never able to really stifle the economy of Cure, and Cure just got out of control. GG. Ooh. GG, well played. And with that, we have our next map of choice. Here we go. Once again, it is DRG's map pick, and it is going to be Site Delta. Here we go. There were a couple of overextensions from DRG as well. We saw him a couple too many times pushing in towards the linear third, if you remember. That position with like the Widow Mines, Libs, and the Planetary, like that. A couple of rough trades for DRG in the mid-game. Did not help. And now here we go. We're getting into game number 3, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-0, but it's a best of 7. We still have games ahead of us, and hopefully many more games ahead of us. It is Cure. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing himself, currently teamless, still looking for a team. Help support it. It is DRG. we go. Going to be loading into Side Delta, another large map here, one of the larger maps in the map pool. I say larger, it's very wide open. It's very wide open here in the center of the map, especially when these rocks get knocked down. Very few choke points, very few points of elevation that you can take advantage of. So this is ideal when it comes to Zerg players trying to fight in the center of the map. But there are other things that, of course, assist the Terran. The big thing here is that these bases are very spread out. They're very spread out, and Cure is all about that drop harass, that split push, and if you can get a little bit of momentum on Side Delta, it can be very difficult to defend these fringe bases. Talking about like this northern base or here these southern bases, they are just so far apart and they can be so difficult to defend all at once. Now, I should give credit where credit is due. Remember, when it came to the split pushes of Cure on Golden Aura, DRG, he was keeping up. He wasn't just keeping up, he was trading better, I would say. He was catching Marines, he was shutting down medevacs. DRG was able to keep up with the split pushes of Cure. It was just, that was all he could do. He could never really, again, take map control and actually apply pressure, or apply as much pressure to the Terran. We'll see if he can have more success this time. For now, hatch gas pool. Standard opener here out of DRG. Everything is looking normal, looking as it should. Meanwhile, from the side of Cure, likewise, we have a Rax Expand with an SCV Scout getting into the Reaper Scout. Reaper has arrived, going to be dancing with the Lings. So a standard opener out of Cure. He's not doing anything crazy and cutting corners like he did on Equilibrium. Picks off another Ling. Oh my god. Cure. Oh, almost overextends. Does escape with that Reaper. Checks the third base. Does confirm the third at the linear base location. He will back off. Behind this, we have an economic opener. Third CC before Starport. Again, very economic, very standard. Very by the book. Nothing too fancy or crazy with this opener. This is going to be interesting as there we go. Initially, the Rax was floated over towards the left-hand side. But it gets brought over towards that Starport, and we should be getting into another Banshee-based opener. As I have the second Marine on the way, into a Tech Lab, into an add-on swap, I imagine. We'll see if Cure does deviate. See if he does end up whipping out something a little bit different here. If he goes Viking first, then we can go for something like Liberators, and it's looking like a Viking here from Cure. Oh, straight lib. Never mind. we just skipped the Viking. Okay. So, no add-on swap. There was no early Tech Lab here with this Rax. So we're not going into Banshees. We're going into a Liberator instead, which means faster stim. Oh, as the Ling gets in. Very nice scout here from DRG. He slips in, gets eyes on everything. He knows he doesn't need spores early on. He knows he does not need detection against the lack of Banshee. With this, DRG going to be defending back at home, keeping up with the Hellion movement. Again, Stim is on the way. Stim is going to be a lot faster this game. This could even lead into something like a Hellbat timing and a Hellbat push, depending on how many Hellions we make. We'll see how aggressive or how assertive Cure wants to be with this. As the Liberator is moving out. Well, Hellions, they do manage to get a tumor here in the center of the map. DRG droning. Now we have delayed spores, and these spores are in position for libs. We have them behind the mineral line at the edge of the base, towards the main, and towards that third base. None here at the natural, as it's unlikely that the Liberator can make it this far. Not impossible, but unlikely. The Hellions are going to be vying for map control, marauding around the map. Again, looking to deny some more of this creep wherever they can. Oh, as they do take down the tumor. Behind this, we're getting to the rest of our production. 3-1-1, pretty standard here on two bases. We do have double eBay as well. Getting into 1-1 upgrades, and Hellions are still looking for more damage. If they don't quite go for a dive, we will back off. Meanwhile, as we get our third base up and running, we have a 5-rack setup here. Again, 5-1-1. Again, standard on 3 bases. Mules are being hammered. And Cure, he's just getting into the mid game. When it comes to what DRG has been up to, we do see that DRG went for a very safe opener. He went for a faster lair, straight into bailing speed, which means delayed 1-1 upgrade. So just very safe play here out of DRG. Just like the last game, actually. Just like game number 2, as we do dive on top of the queens. That's a lot of Hellions. One queen gets roasted. We're going to get the second queen as well. Clutch Transfuse. Transfuse does come in. DRG does hold, but that was brutal. Losing one queen to the Hellions, not what you want to be seeing here as a Zerg player. And we are going to be spicing things up here. Okay, DRG, doing his best dark impression. That is a fast infestation pit. This looks like Ling Bane into Ultra. Ling Bane into Fast Hive, which means no Hydrogen, no Spire. Before we can think about the Ultras though, here come the Hellions. The Hellions supporting the Marines. Again, Sim is done. The medevacs have arrived. And can we collapse on this army? Oh, we can. The Bane is going to be rolling in. And they will connect. Some of them will. As Curie picks up whatever he has left. Diving into the main. Overall, trading well against the Ling Bane, but won't be able to break through, won't be able to touch the economy. Meanwhile, there's the Hive. Was it scouted? Cure? No, he did not get eyes on the Hive, and he has not seen the infestation pit. So again, this should be Ling Bane into Ultra Tech here from DRG. This is something you can get away with on large maps if you have momentum on your side. Otherwise, this can be a really risky thing to do. Very risky playstyle. Bailey's, oh my, they connect! You connect here with the army. Oh, we try to bait out some of those Widowmine shots. Clutch on Burrow there from Cure. Mine shot goes off. Good connection, and Cure, he's gaining ground. This has been some really good trades. Good trades by Cure, but... oh my god! Yeah, just really good trades from Cure. The Widowmine gets a juicy connection towards the end. And Cure is not done. DRG struggling right now. He is down in supply. Struggling when it comes to his trades here. He's just been losing too much. And Cure is going to be looking to snowball out of control. This is a good trade here from DRG, catching some of this army before it all does unload. And DRG, he's on the back foot. He's on the back foot for quite some time. And here we go. We have a Hydrogen on the way. The Hive is done for Adrenal. I want to believe that we were thinking about Ultras, but I think it's a wise choice to deviate away from Ultras. Hydrogen on the way instead. Now, is this Hive worth it just for Adrenal if we're not making use of the Hive tech? Not really. But we'll see. There we go. Vipers are on the way. That will help. That will help against the Medivacs. What do you see behind this? Cure amassing an army towards the south. Reinforcing towards the north. We spoke about this at the start of the game about how Side Delta can be very difficult to defend both these locations at once because they are so spread apart. And we'll see if DRG can. Marines pushing forward, catching a lot of tumors. Bailey's they roll in. Oh! Mine shot goes off. One decent connection, one other not so great. Here will be forced back. A very limited creep spread here. Very limited creep from DRG. He's trying to hold on, trying to keep up. Once again, a lot of creep is receding. Vipers are soon to arrive. Again, this is the downside of rushing into Hive, is that because your Hydras are delayed, because your Vipers are now on the way. Oh, once again, big mine shots. But the big advantage that Cure has is the lack of anti-air. The lack of anti-air from DRG does mean that this drop play is going uncontested. That's why the Hydras will help, but again, they are delayed just because of the faster Hive instead. Here we go, Cure trying to catch this army, trying to deny the space. Mine shot's going to be going up, forcing some friendly fire. Not too bad. DRG forcing this back. Again, the Medivacs are getting low, but they're still up and running. Likewise, Cure pushing towards the north as well. And yeah, this is not a fight that DRG can take right now. He does need reinforcements. His army is going to be rotating over. Vipers have arrived. We need some solid parasitic bombs, even blinding clouds. Oh! Dragging the Banelings into the Widowmine fields. We we go. Power bombs are thrown down. We will force back this army. DRG shutting down both medevacs, actually. Okay. With the power of the power bomb. And this will be cleaned up at the same time. Cure, I mean, he lost quite a lot of supply here. DRG, he finally has some breathing room. This is the fight that he was looking for, cleaning up both drops. Cleaning everything up, and now we can stabilize. Now we can get up to a good economy. 85 workers, 2 tours on the way. Again, we've had Hive Tech for quite some time. How many Vipers? 3 Vipers are out. Gathering up energy. Building up that energy here for some more spells. We do have Cure pushing forward once again. This time with Libs. Fusion Core is on the way. Second Starport for Liberator range. He's getting into his final form. Getting into Ghost production alongside it. And once again, this entire time for the past 12 minutes, DRG, he hasn't touched the economy. He hasn't touched these bases of Cure. He hasn't been able to. He's just been stuck on the back foot. Just because of how active Cure has been. Here we go. Big yoinks here on the Liberators. Power bombs as well on the Medevacs. Medevacs getting very low. And we're chasing this all the way back. Are we overextending, though? Good fighting. Oh, we take a bailing to the face. Oh, my God. That was not the time to turn around. Cure losing his entire army. Does come in with reinforcements, but that was a big blow to the army here, to the supply of Cure. That was not the time to stop running. And with that, DRG, he takes the supply lead for the first time, I think, the entire game. For the first time in a long time. Takes the supply lead. 2-2 is done. 3-3 could still be started up soon. But with that momentum, DRG pushing towards the third. Oh, massive mine shot though. Oh my God. Big mine connection, and power bombs are thrown down. Bailey's rolling in, looking for those connections. Can we get on top of the army? We can. But is this a bit of an overextension again because of that big mine shot? Yeah, DRG is being forced back. He gets 4 SCVs. Once again, he barely touches the economy. 4 workers go down. DRG is remaxing, but he is running out of a bank. He's running out of a gas bank. So DRG has to be very careful with how he does engage. With how he picks his fights. I don't blame him for pushing into this third. There's no planetary here, but yeah, that fight did not go well. Not for DRG. Meanwhile, Cure, he's recovering. This time with more Liberators. We have 4 Libs being produced at a time. We have yet to throw down the Ghost Academy. Still just on Biomine. At the same time, going for a big link counterattack. Do get us around on the planetary. Can we get a kill? Up! Can we? It's going to be close. No shot. The planetary doesn't fall, but at the same time, we do hit the third base, and we do get a mineral line for the first time here this game. 19 SCVs go down. I was getting concerned. If it was just this planetary holding, that would have been a brutal trade for DRG, and Cure would be ahead, but he did lose 19 workers. Something going DRG's way. And he wants the army. So let's get a Marauder. He's going to be pulling back once again, looking for a big engage. Widow Mines are pre-set up. They are borrowed. They are borrowed, and we see DRG just looking for a way in, looking for a way to engage. More CCs on the way. Cure fully, getting fully saturated. He lost a lot of workers early. He still hasn't rebuilt them. He still hasn't replaced his workers. Here we go. DRG pushing in once again. The army in position. The Bailings, they don't quite connect. The Vipers! First Viper does go down. This was not the fight. Not the fight to take, Bobby. Behind this, DRG actually lost a lot of workers here to some Liberator harass. Down to 75. We spoke about this earlier, and I'm getting really concerned. DRG doesn't have any gas. He hasn't taken any gases here. He's not mining any gases towards the south. No, he's just now taking his gases towards the north. But DRG, he is out of a gas bank. He can only replenish here with Lings. Now the hatchery is going to be going down. Cure, he has remaxed. DRG pushing on forward here. Widowmine shots, no big connections. That's a lot of lives though. It's a lot of lives. Mine shots, they go off as well. The Link Bait gets completely cleaned up, and this was not the trade. The Liberators, they stand strong. And they even survive. No shots. The Hydra count was reset completely, and we just spoke about this. We don't have any gas. We don't have any gas. We cannot replace those Hydras. We have 6 Hydras in production. And DRG, he's burning through his bank. He's burning through his bank here. He had some good moments. Cure taking the center base. This cannot get up and running. We cannot allow it to get up and running. Hatchery going to be going down. We scan, we check bottom left, we confirm that nothing is here. Here we go. Cure is pushing. Do you have some Link Bait to defend at the same time? DRG going for a run by. Mindshot's going to be going up on the front lines. Cure does hold. Oof. Yeah, and this run by not going to achieve too much. We do kill 11 SCVs, which is nice. At the same time, DRG is pushing. Trying to break this planetary, but the choke point is too good. The Sim City working against DRG so hard. Again, good positioning with these command centers. Cure, he's not done. He's done defending. Now it's time to attack. How many Banelings? 4 Banelings, 11 in production. And with the death of those Banelings, there's nothing left to stop the Terran. 11 Banelings, they just finished up. DRG struggling to hold on here. Again, he's run out of money. He's run out of steam. Big mine shots. We take down some medevacs. Medevacs are shut down. 3-3 finishing up here for the Terran. Gonna be going for some drop play. Center command center, center planetary getting up and running as well. Cure just making sure that there is no other hatchery, making sure that DRG doesn't have an economy. We're pushing in once again. The way. Oh my god, the unburrow. Cure not wasting his mine shots whatsoever. At the same time, a big Link counterattack. We do hit the third base. We get 10 SCVs. Not bad. A good start here for DRG. Can he get the CC? Oh, he will. Does get the orbital. Looking at his vision. He doesn't know. No shot. I was curious. He hasn't seen the center planetary. Hatchery's going to be going down. And that means that DRG, he has 5 mineral patches here. He's got a couple mineral patches here. He has a full mining base towards the south, but that is it. That is all he has. DRG setting up for another counterattack. Will he check? Oh, check, Poppy. Check. No. Oh, he will. As he chases out these Liberators, he comes across the planetary. He will shut it down. DRG takes out a mining base. Across the map, Cure getting another up and running. He will take both center right and top right as well. And again, DRG needs another expansion. He just lost his center base. He needs more mining. He has at least maxed out. He has maxed out at this point. Mine shot could be going off. DRG marauding around, looking for another way in. Cool. Mines will be connecting, taking down the Overseers. We do catch Cure in a really awkward position. Good yoinks here on the Liberators. DRG taking a good fight. Picks off Libs, picks off the Widow Mines, doesn't take a big mine shot to the face. At the same time, though, we have... Oh, never mind. I was going to say we haven't dropped towards the south, but it looks like it was dealt with. Was cleaned up. We do see Cure attempting to expand towards the south. Attempting to take his base, but DRG, he's here to deny it. DRG, he's gaining ground. There we go. Does push towards the planetary. The Baileys, they get into the mineral line. And SCVs will go down. So will the planetary. Big pickoff at the same time. Curie's had enough. He's going for his own big counterattack, and he will find a mineral line. He will find a hatchery. Top left base goes down. The drones do escape. The drones, they will evacuate. And Cure, he is down to 46 SCVs. He lost so much here towards the south, and he hasn't been rebuilding his workers. This is still anyone's game. There have been moments for both players here, but Cure, his economy not looking so hot anymore. He just lost 3 bases. He lost the 3rd, the 5th, the center base as well. DRG, he is fighting back. Cure desperately trying to reestablish these bases. Does spot the drone. Going for a split push. Very dedicated here towards the south. I mean, he knows that this is the most important mining base for DRG. And most of DRG's army is here towards the north. He has a couple units towards the south, but I don't think DRG has enough. Yeah, this base is going to be going down, and we could keep pushing into this army as well. We'll see if Cure does realize. Snipe not going to be going off at the same time. DRG going for his own run by. He catches an orbital. Can't touch the planetary, but the orbital is going to be going down, and we lose another mining base. Cure down to 31 SCVs. We have to push. We got to go, Pop. We got to send it. The longer this goes on, DRG, he's amassing a larger army. There are infestors. There are fungals. Connecting on a couple of units. EMP is going off on the ghosts. On the queens. Big fungal. Does catch 2 of those ghosts. And here we go. DRG, he can try to take this fight. Ooh. Viper's going to be going down. Reinforcements are coming in. And Cure, he has too much. He has far too much here on the ground. And Cure can break through. The infestors are slowing him down. But that was a great fight for Cure. Cleans up the lane. Shows the fungal. Up. If we can land a good fungal here. EMPs the infestors. It's only Hydras left. And the Hydras on their own, they're not good enough. Cure, he barely breaks through. Again, Cure's got double the army supply. Has half the worker count, but the army supply is where it matters right now. He's pushing on the right, towards the top side. Takes down a base. GG gets called. It's just too much. And DRG runs out of steam. Cure takes a 3-0 lead in this series. GG. Oh my god. GG. Cure was pretty committed. He didn't have an economy, but he didn't need an economy because it was all about that southern army. He just had far too much to deal with. DRG could not handle that army. He needed more time to rebuild. Again, the lack of mining bases from DRG really did hurt him. Barely had an economy for that entire game. It was impressive that he was able to hold on. We had a back and forth, and DRG was surviving, but in the end, could not keep up with Cure. And with that, things are looking a little bit bleak here for DRG. I was hoping for a more back and forth, but we have potentially one more game left. It's a best of 7, which means first to 7 wins. First player to 7 will take it, and Cure is 1 game away. And we have our next map. It is going to be Alcyone. Let's go. Let us go. God. The puns. Shaking my head. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid, leading the series 3-0, 1 game away from taking the entire show match, the first of many, the first of the Club NV X Duckling Showdowns. It is Cure. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing himself. He's currently teamless, currently looking for a team. It is DRG. And he needs your energy. He needs your support right now because we can't let this be a 4-0. I mean, DRG, he's an amazing player. We just casted him Clown all over Bjorn. Like, he looks so damn strong against Bjorn, what, 2-3 weeks ago? But here against Cure has been struggling. And to be fair, Bjorn is a very different kind of player. Bjorn is a lot more stylistic, especially when it comes to his 2-Rax openers with 2-Rax Reaper. Bjorn is very fond of that, and it does lead to different play styles. Bjorn is also more aggressive and more committed and less economic and macro oriented. But here, Cure, his macro, it's clean, it's crisp, and because of it, he's able to apply so much pressure and just, yeah, keep the Zerg player on their side of the map for so long. Eventually, DRG was able to counterattack, and things were getting a bit chaotic. You know, we had a bit of a back and forth, and DRG was shutting down bases, so was Cure. I do think that last game was maybe the closest game so far, just because, you know, Cure was, you know, looking mortal, and he was taking quite a bit of economic damage. But even then, it wasn't enough. Even then, it was not enough from DRG. Here we go. We're getting into our openers. So far, we have Kira going for a Rax Expand, going for a standard opener here into that factory. Meanwhile, DRG going for a Hatch Gas Pool. Again, similar openers, or the same opener every single game so far from our Zerg player. Kira has been mixing it up. Does have an SCV here on the right-hand side. Is going to be forcing out that linear third base instead. Reaper has arrived. The dance will begin. Oh, gets a Ling. Does end up picking off a Ling there. Behind this, third CC before Starport. Again, very economic. Outside of Game 1. Game 1 was an anomaly, but every single game since then, we've been seeing some pretty standard, very economic builds here from Cure. No 1-1-1, no 2-1-1s, or 2-1-1 variations, no Hellbat pushes, no proxies. Just very straight up play here, and this is not the first time we've seen this, as Cure once again is opening up double Cyclone. Now, if you recall, the last time we saw this, it's double Cyclone into additional Hellions for map control to pick away and to chase down Overlords. Now, we'll see if we commit to additional Cyclones or just 2. As the Overlord is being chased away, he's going to be forced out towards the left-hand side. Cyclones are coming out, and again, their goal here is to shut down this Overlord and to find more. Overlord will fall, and there we go. We have Hellions to reinforce. So only 2 Cyclones. We casted Clem earlier today, and Clem did whip out a mass Cyclone variation of this, where you go up to like 6 Cyclones. But we can see that is not the case here for Cure. As we're following this up, ooh, with a 3cc 2-1-1. Okay. You have my attention. Este Cure. So Cyclones are moving out. Basically what's happening here is that we are prioritizing, we're rushing into a faster stim here for Cure into a delayed starport, which will go into medevac production. So no libs or no banshees this time. Should be straight into medevacs. And we're going to be hitting a timing here with stim, with marines, and with ideally Hellions to support. So typically what this means is that DRG should have map control and should be free to take a fourth, to drone up until that medevac timing. But specifically with this variation, because of the Cyclones, Cure actually has a stronger map presence. Now, the downside is that because he's been reactoring out so many Cyclones and Hellions, or specifically Hellions, it means that Cure's bio army is actually going to be a little bit smaller, because the add-on swap to the reactor for the Rax was late, or was delayed. So there's a bit of a give and take here. On the one hand, Cure has a stronger map presence early on because of all these Hellions, but this does mean that the eventual medevac stim timing is going to be weaker because of lack of Marines. So, interesting. Again, an interesting take on the 2-1-1 from Cure. Behind this, we do have a deviation. We're going into Roaches. Okay. I mean, it feels like the Hellion Cyclone is forcing out Roaches. Looking at the vision... Okay, we scouted. I was like, we did see the stim being researched, so DRG, he's aware of the bio. He is screening to Roach play, and this can be a very safe way to play. This should be leading into a 1-1 Roach timing. From here, we can transition into Ling Bane. Doesn't have to be pure Roach Ravager into the mid-game, but we'll see. Again, +1 range tells us that we're going to be committing quite hard here initially for DRG. We are going to be committing behind this, getting to our 5-rack setup. There are those first 2 medevacs on the way, which means we should soon be pushing with these Marines. And here we go. Marines are going to be moving out. Likewise, Secure still vying for map control with these Hellions and Cyclones. 1-1 are well underway. With the arrival of these Roaches and Ravagers, DRG should defend this. He should be okay. At dead. It should. Because he will force that back. Creep is going to be spreading. Cure rotating around. And DRG, I'm keeping my eye on his drone count. He's droned up to 71. He's working down these rocks. It does look like DRG doesn't want to drone anymore. It looks like he wants to build up a big 1-1 roach timing. Ooh, 3 queens go down. Big pickoffs. Do manage to get 3 queens. Double job marauding in between the bases as well, keeping the Roach Ravager army busy. So far, not achieving too much damage, but again, forcing DRG to respond. And look at the supply. DRG, again, he's cutting workers early at 71, and he's maxing out on Roach Ravager. 1-1 upgrades are done, and DRG is going to be sending everything to break this position. Now, how many tanks do we have? The answer is no tanks. No tanks, no Widow Mines. Cure doesn't have the best defensive position here. Oh, there we go. 1 tank. Never mind. We're going to be okay. First tank is out. Second tank is on the way. And depending on their positioning, we can hold. But again, DRG, he is pushing. He's breaking through all these rocks, and he has arrived. We have the tank on the low ground. Tank is going to be on the low ground. You see the Biles forcing back the army as well, getting closer and closer to that tank. Tank getting a lot of damage done, a lot of shelling away on this army. But the tank is exposed. It's going to be going down. The boys are pulled, but 1 second too late. We're going to try and desperately hold on here. Good kiting from DRG, taking down 9 SCVs. Second tank has arrived here at the natural. We just get so much economic damage done. 12 workers going to be falling. And we're not stopping. We're not slowing down. We're pushing into the natural base as well. The tank exposed. The tank gets piled down. And without any tanks, there's nothing to stop the Roach Ravager. Again, tank production was delayed because of all the Hellions, because of all the Cyclones. And this just was not seen in time. Was not recognized. 28 SCVs go down. We take control of the natural. There's another tank here on the high ground, but it does not matter. We can even deny the upgrades. There it is. Both E-base fall. Big pickoffs here from DRG. Doesn't have high ground vision. Can't pick off these tanks. But again, he contains Cure to 1 base. To 1 base. DRG, he's still maxed out. We have 2-2 on the horizon. Baneliness as well for Ling Bane. And what's up next? This third. The SCVs. We're going to save what we can. Again, big tank shots. But that's going to be 34 dead workers. And DRG with this roach timing is going to be running away with this. He's looking to fight back, looking to make a series out of this. He's not going to go down 4-0. No, Papi, not this time. This is a brutal trade. We will take down the tanks. Oh, we missed the first wave of Biles. A rough moment there for DRG. Does bleed out a lot of Roach Ravager here, and we have to get the hell out of here. We can't stick around, not anymore. We gotta respect the army, gotta back off. We can't overextend. Let's see that DRG, he wants that tank. Oh, but the Overseer does fall. No more high ground vision. We're pushing in again. Oh my god. DRG, he has no chill. We're pushing in once again. There are 3 tanks on the low ground, which means 3 tanks are gonna fall. Yeah, he has more than enough. It's all good. DRG breaks through. GG gets called. And DRG puts a point on the board. GG. We have a series. We have a back and forth, and that's all I wanted. Ooh, GG. GG, well played. Ooh, with that, DRG, he does fight back, and we will have a game 5, at least a game 5. This is the first step here, the first step in the road to recovery. DRG still has a mountain to climb though, because Cure still needs one more game. Still needs one more game here to win the entire series. DRG has to win 2 in a row to force the ace match. Dos más, papi, dos más. Here we go. As we have our next map, it's going to be Oceanborn. Oceanborn is going to be coming up next. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our South Korean Terran player leading the series 3-1, still 1 game away from winning this entire show match, this entire showdown. Can he pull it off? Can he bring it home here? Representing Team Liquid, it is Cure. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Red Zerg player, representing himself, currently teamless, looking for a team, and fighting back, putting a point on the board. Can he keep it up? Can he keep going? It is DRG. Here we go. And again, I'm just glad it's not a 4-0. I'm just things were looking a little bit dire for DRG in this series, and they're still looking a little bit dire, but I appreciate it. I appreciate that we do have more extended series here, as we have a hatch, gas pool, standard opener out of our Zerg. Likewise, Cure going for a Rax into expansion. And talking about our players a little bit, talking about the map, I should say, loading in to Oceanborn, and Oceanborn is going to be an interesting one. Short rushes and spike round. Something like roach aggression, not unheard of on this map, even expected at times. We've seen a lot of maxed out roach armies, 1-1 timings, 2-2 timings, hit strong, be powerful here on Oceanborn, just because of the way this map has been oriented. Basically, there is a ramp coming into the natural and third, that's true, but it's a very large ramp, very wide, very open. On top of that, when it comes to trying to push into this third base, you can also just gain access to this high ground via this ramp here, out in the center of the map, and that just kind of gets rid of and just removes any kind of high ground or point of elevation to defend this third base. So this third is a little bit more exposed. As a result, we have seen a lot of aggression and all-ins from both sides. Speaking of, that's an interesting base. Reaper has arrived, gonna be dancing with these lings, but a very interesting third base here from DRG. Now, this center base is actually very difficult to defend, as we almost get a drone. We almost lose that Reaper as well. So to escape. To get the hell out of there. And again, this base is very difficult to actually hold on to and defend, but it's also a really good it is a really good base to launch your creep across the map, to spread creep here towards your opponent's side of the map instead. So I'm curious if this is all going to come together, and if we do play roaches again, or if this is just, you know, the base that was forced to be taken by DRG. We'll see. We shall see, as the Reaper has arrived, going to be dipping in between the bases, but is going to be forced out. Meanwhile, back at home, third CC before Starport once again. This time it's looking to be an add-on swap. This time it's looking to be a more standard opener, especially after what happened in that last game. Remember, something that's amazing against Roach play is Banshees, and Banshees are something that we did not have in that last game. So we have an add-on swap and a Banshee opener from Cure. Much more standard. Look, he tried to mix it up in that last game. He was punished for it. Now we're not deviating. Not anymore. We've learned our lesson. Aliens are going to be going for a dive even. Oh my god. Bold move here at a cure. Goes for the dive into the main base. The drones are lining up. Oh, we do split away, but 4 workers go down. We get a 5th drone as well. Not like this. 5 workers go down. And that is more than worth 2 Hellions. A very good trade here from Cure already. Behind this, of course, getting to additional Hellion production, getting to its Banshees as well. DRG going for a faster lair. Okay, so it's going to be around a 4-minute 35 lair timing. Pretty standard here, but what I mean is that we're not rushing into Evo chambers again. Very safe way to open, and this looks like this should be a Baneling nest as a follow-up. Ooh, roaches again. Okay, you have my attention. We spoke about it before in the lead up to the early game about how with this forward base, creep is already spreading across the map. If we did want to go for another roach all in, this would be a good map for it. But that is also why we're opening up Banshees. Like, roach all in, especially after what happened in that last game, it makes sense that his opponent will try this, so it makes sense for Cure to anticipate that and to open up Banshees instead. And Banshees are not just used to harass across the map, but against anything like roaches, they can do amazingly defending against them. Roaches, they don't shoot up. Do not shoot up. There we go. Roach speed is on the way. Additional gases are being taken. We have 3 for the time being, taking a 4th gas, taking a 5th and 6th. Oh my god, that's a lot of gas. It's a lot of gas being taken. Evo chambers are on the way. And she's a dip into the main. Getting a handful of drones. A handful of workers do go down. Oh. Go for the queen. Won't quite get it. Queen does a dip away. We have roach speed in production. Soon to be, I imagine, 1-1. I imagine +1 range will be researched, but we'll see. Commit to those roaches. And there it is, +1 range. The same build as the previous game, so far at least. Queen does go down. These Banshees getting a lot done. Yeah, we didn't respect it. We did not respect it enough. The Queens, they were out of position. Now they're coming back in. We got 2 worker kills and a gas geyser as well. And DRG, he has dropped up to 71. And if you remember, last game, DRG, he cut workers at 71 and maxed out on Roach Ravager. This time, though, especially after losing this gas geyser, we're teching. We have Baneling Nest on the way. Infestation bit as well. DRG may go for a push, but it's not going to be as committed because we're already working on that next step. Meanwhile, back at home, tank production. We have tanks on the way. First tank is already out. Cure getting ready for his first push. Is going to be moving out. Not just with his bio army this time, but with his tanks. And we'll see if DRG can defend. Now, what makes this base difficult to defend is, 1, there are multiple angles of attack, but 2, the high ground. There's high ground right next to it. Hellbats are being morphed in the tank, unable to siege. And DRG did engage preemptively here, and Cure was not ready for it. Just like that, Curie gets deflected. Behind this, we have a 4th CC on the way. 2nd factory as well for double tank production. Yeah, we are committed to Biotank. We're going to be keeping the tanks at home. We thought about it. we thought about moving out with them, but we keep the tanks at home, and we are moving out with a double drop. And the downside here of a Roach Ravager army is it's immobile. It's immobility here. It's so difficult to keep up with multi-pronged aggression. We'll see if Cure can take advantage of DRG. Already getting a queen. Big pick-off. Big pick-off there from Cure. Diving into the main base at the same time. Double jump here towards the center, clearing up a lot of this creep. A lot of creep is receding. Queens, they went down earlier. So many tumors go down at the same time. Drop into the main base. Spore a bit out of position. We'll force this back. Trading against the Lings. Cure not done. Clearing up even more creep here towards the south. Cure, he's setting a pace. He's setting a tempo to this game. DRG trying to keep up. course, the Banshees, they've rotated around. They're still alive from earlier. Wait. They're still alive. Looks like they went back home. They got repaired, and they get 3 drone kills. The Queens not quite where they needed to be. Banshees, they do back out of range of that detection. Double drop threat into the main base. Spore repositioning. And you can see that DRG is just having a really hard time spreading that creep at this point. Tumor is not being replaced, and this time, here we go. We're pushing out with our main army. How many tanks? 6 tanks here for Cure. He's got a couple of Hellbats to support. The army has been spotted. Big spotter Ling. Ling does spot the army. You can see DRG repositioning at the same time. We still have that double jump towards the north. There's nothing here. Uh-oh. There's nothing here to defend. There is potential here for Cure. Drop coming into the main. Okay, we have a tri-pronged attack here from Cure, and can DRG keep up? He has a decent army of Vipers. They have arrived. Hive is done. Big blinding clouds. Yeah, we're going to be able to collapse in this army. There's just not enough to protect the tanks, and every single tank is going to be going down. At the same time, we go for a triple drop into the third. It's not going to be worth it, though. Cure, he lost every single tank. The medevacs are low. This northern drop never did push in. We're getting damage done in the main, but this is an expensive trade here for Cure because he's going to lose everything. Every medevac goes down. We get 5 drones. Now we're coming in, but it's too little too late. DRG is here. He does respond, and you can see Cure plummets in supply. Again, he lost 6 tanks. He lost 6 tanks. So many medevacs as well, a lot of Marines. And back at home, what do we have to defend? The tank count was reset. We have 2 here back at home. We have Planetaries. We have SimCity. But now DRG can go for a counterattack. Now, this is a pretty entrenched position, so we have to be careful. 3rd and 4th tank has arrived. Bailey's going to be forced back. DRG getting ready for his push. Vipers have arrived. We can abduct. We can blinding cloud. We have options. Do you have options? Big blinding clouds here on these tanks, and the planetary is gonna go down to the Bailings. We collapse on the army. Oh my god, the Biles, they even connect with some medevacs. Tanks full, medevacs as well. Oh my god, once again connecting with the medevacs and the tanks, bringing them down. And DRG doesn't have enough to push in, but he takes down 18 SCVs. And even though DRG is being forced back, the Biles do not connect. Cure, he has another CC ready to replace the planetary. But he gets knocked down in supply, and we are remaxing, this time with Ultras. Remember, the Hive has been done for quite some time. Adrenal has completed. +3 Carapace on the way. And Cure, he's running out of steam. As I say that, how many tanks do we have? We are on 5 tanks at this point. Vipers coming forward once again, blinding clouding. The blinding clouds are throwing down the tanks. They do nothing. They do nothing. They only die here to the Ultras. Once again, the tank count gets reset. And once again, DRG is pushing. At the same time, Lings, they do bypass the army. They go straight for the mineral lines. SCVs are going down. And GG gets called. DRG fighting back once again. Takes down Cure here with his Roach style, a different variation. And does take another game. GG. Poppy. We have a series. We have a series here as DRG going for a different style. Remember, this time he did drone up to 70, did get into Roach Ravager, but this time he didn't push with it. He teched up even further. Went into the Bailey Nest, the Infestation Pit, the Hive Tech. He had a more defensive stance initially. After taking a really good fight, then he was aggressive, then he was counterattacking. That fight, of course, being that big tank push that Cure was going for. There was potential. Remember, there was like a double drop into the main, there was a double drop towards the north, and there was the main push as well. Honestly, Cure had a lot of potential with his army, but wasn't able to break through, wasn't able to bring it all together. And after DRG cleaned him up, DRG, he had momentum, and he never let it go. Never did let it go, and with that, the series continues. We're getting into our next game. We're loading in to Hecate. Vamonos. Can we force the ace match? Can we go the distance? Can we go all the way to Game 7? I believe. I want to believe, Papi. I want to believe. Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have the South Korean Terran player. The blue Terran representing Team Liquid, still one game away from winning this entire series. Can he pull it off? As, oh, we are moving out across the map. Where are we going, Papi? Where are we going? Representing Team Liquid, it is Cure. We're going for a proxy 2 racks. We're going for a proxy 3 racks. That's a third SCV. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zurich player. He has been fighting back so hard here, winning back-to-back games. Can he win another? Can he force the ace match? Currently teamless, being proxied. It is DRG. There it is. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3 Raxes on the way. Oh boy, the proxy is upon us. So 3 racks here from Kior. Going to be amassing Marines with these SCVs. He's going to be throwing down some bunkers outside the natural. It's going to be on DRG to scout and to recognize what's happening and to respond in kind. Now, what is scary here is that if DRG misreads this, if he misreads this as a proxy 2 racks instead of a 3 racks, he might overcommit to protecting the natural base and he could die. He could die then and there. This Overlord is a little bit far out. This is dangerous. So usually the second Overlord is sent to the third base and sent nearby and then pulled back. We are sending out both Overlords. Okay, here we go. This Overlord is now making its way back home. Does it get here in time? The Overlord is out of position. The SCVs are coming in, which means we do not get eyes on the bunkers. DRG getting a little bit too cavalier with this Overlord. It is not in position. The bunkers are on the way, and DRG, he now sees with the hatchery. Again, it's a late scout here from DRG. And how does he respond? He does see all 3 SCVs. He knows boys are being pulled. He's going to try to fight for control of the low ground. Can he pull this off? Again, his goal here is to shut down these bunkers, but there are 3 SCVs. He's going for the Marines. He's going for the dive onto the Marines. The Lings, they are out. They're going to be shutting down the bunker. Oh, we get us around. But so many drones are falling. Too many drones are going down. There's going to be 6 dead workers. We do get this around. That's going to be a kill, not a cancel. But already, Cure, he is up in economy. He's up in workers. But he is still committed. Queens have arrived. Can we hold? DRG down to 15 SCVs. We are still amassing more Marines. There are no bunkers, bear that in mind. The Queens, they are a massive, I mean, they add so much here to the defense of DRG. That is going to be massive here for him. More Lings are amassing as well. As Cure threatening those Queens, doesn't commit. God, how many Marines do we have? We have 12 Marines against 16 Lings. Looks like 1 SCV is going to be going down. The Queens, though, very exposed. Oh man, we pull the boys! We are completely all in, and we're going to have to pull the drones as well. Boy on boy action here. We're going for the surround. We're trying to get on top of the Marines. Good hold position. Good hold position, Micro. Good drone drilling as well from DRG. But the Marines, they have the position that's just too good here, reducing the surface area. Lings, they take down the SCVs. We clean up the army, and it looks like DRG will hold. He takes out every single worker. Link speed kicks in. We can catch these Marines as well, and we are going the distance here. We're going to the ace match. The Queen survived. We have the Queen, we have Lings, we have an economy, and we are shutting down these Marines. Again, a bold move here for Cure to just double down with the boy pool. To send it all. He has 3 SCVs back at home. GG gets called. And we're going to the ace match. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. GG. It's happening. It's happening, Poppy. We are going all the way to Game 7. We're going the distance. This is what we wanted. This is what we dreamed of. Let's go. Let us go. The final map will be on Solaris. Again, it was Hard-Lead and Radisson Station. Those are the two maps that were vetoed, which means Solaris is the only map left. Let's go. Again, DRG, he has momentum on his side, and Cure, has he been broken? Mentally, I mean, like, is it over? Are we done? Because going for the proxy here, it felt like a little bit of frustration. It felt like Cure, he felt the win at his fingertips, and it's just been barely out of reach. And in that moment of frustration, he's like, screw it, I'm going for a proxy. I'm gonna end this here and now. I've already won this series. I won it long ago, and he fumbled the ball. In the end, our Zerg player was able to defend, and we have an ace match. We're going all the way to Game 7. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. He has been so close, yet so far from the win. Can he close it out? It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing himself. He is teamless. He is looking for a team. He deserves to be on a team. He's taking Cure to the ace match. He's amazing. He's beautiful. He has momentum on his side. Can he win it all? It is DRG. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. This is it. It all comes down to this final game, and bienvenidos el hermoso in the chat. Oh my god, papi. Buenos dias. I did just notice Cranky, our lovely resident Spanish caster. Welcome, welcome. Buenos dias. Hope your day is going well. Hope you're enjoying yourself. And wish you the best. Wish you the best in your endeavors as we are here in the ace match. And Cure, for the first time this series, going for a 2-Rax. Going for 2-Rax Reaper. Now, if you're just tuning in now, if you missed out on these earlier games, honestly, every game Cure has been going for a 3cc variation. Game 1, he was hyper greedy, went for 3cc before Factory, which was crazy, but ever since then, it's been a 3cc before Starport. This is the first time we've seen a 2-Rax. The first time here in this best of 7. We go. Meanwhile, DRG going for a hatch gas pool. The Overlord Scout does confirm the Rax is on the low ground, and it's going to be on DRG to go all the way into the main because he needs to check if it's a 3-Rax. Cure, he has 3-Rax in the past, in recent times actually, in ESL Open Cups and KSL. He has been willing to 3-Rax, so very important that DRG does check. Meanwhile, the first Reaper is getting across the map. Lings are on the way, Queens as well. DRG, he's fully aware of what's going on, and he is prepared. Does confirm the lack of racks. We do see the CC on location. It's just a 2-Rax here at a Cure. The drone! Oh no! The drone goes down, but the Reaper as well. Cure with a bit of miscontrol. He got greedy. Did get a worker, but lost the Reaper. And we have the third base on the way. DRG. So, typically, this 2-Rax opener is designed to cancel the third. It's designed to contain the Zerg player onto 2 bases and to delay that third for as long as possible. But now that we've lost the Reaper, this third is fine. There is no canceling of this third base. It's not going to happen, especially because Cure is transitioning. He cuts Reapers here at 3. It would have been 3. Now it's 2. And we do not have enough DPS. We do not have enough to threaten the bases of DRG. So a beautiful start here from the Zerg. Everything going well for DRG here in the early game, I should say. Meanwhile, Cure is following this up with a 3cc before Starport. Economic follow-up here from our Terran. He's not doubling down into a 3-Rax or a 4-Rax or 3cc 211. I mean, kind of 3cc 211 to be fair, but nothing too aggressive here from this point. Cure is transitioning. Now, this transition is going to be a stim timing. There we go. Stim is on the way, and he's going to be hitting with medevacs. We have a reactor on this factory. We should be going for an add-on swap. We should be not investing too hard into any kind of Hellion production and focusing on those medevacs to be active. If we do get into Hellions, it should be like 4 Hellions at most. We shouldn't commit too hard. The Overlord is being forced back. There we go. We have our first 2 Hellions on the way. We are going Liberator first here from Cure. Okay, with this we can be more active. I think that's important, especially because the stim timing is a ways away. Again, stim is still not even halfway done. We are going to be moving out with our initial Lib, with a couple of Hellions. But because of the early game, because the Hellions are so delayed, because of the 2-axe opener, DRG, he's been free to drone. He's droning up his 3rd base. Queens are coming out. Spreading creep, connecting our bases, of course. Now, we'll see if Cure can get damage done. We'll see how much he can achieve here with this army. Queens are going to be rotating. They keep up. They do keep up with Cure. Behind this, going straight for the lair, going straight for another Roach Ward. I mean, Roaches have been working well here for DRG. They've been doing beautifully here for our Zerg player, and I mean, it's been winning him games. Straight up has been winning him games. Meanwhile, Queen does take a lot of hits. Is going to be forced back. Cure still rotating around, still looking for a way in. At the same time, Liberator into the main base. Do we have no Spore? There's no Spore in position. DRG, he does not. The last thing on his mind is a Liberator. And then we'll Siege. At the same time, Hellions looking for a dive into the natural. Queen's not quite in position. A lot of lost mining time here in the main. And we're not done. Here come the meta-axe that we spoke about. There's that add-on swap. Was it 4 Hellions? Yeah, it was 4 Hellions into the add-on swap, into meta-axe. And here we go. Cure is going to be moving out. Still denying so much mining here in the main base. DRG, he's hurting. Queens, they refuse to reposition. This Lib doing so much. And here comes the double drop, and we want those drone kills. DRG, he does spot this. The Lings, they're a little bit too far away. The spawning pool is gonna go down. A brutal pickup. Spawning pool does fall. And Cure, he's in this. Despite having a really rough start, the Hellions to go for the dive into the mineral line, into the 3rd base. 3 drones go down. Oh no! They line up! Drones, they do line up for a moment. 6 workers go down. 10 workers go down. We're not done. 11. Another volley. 13. 13 drones. Ay. Almost a full mineral line. And Cure, he's pulling DRG apart. DRG maybe resting on his laurels a little bit after having a strong start. Did ease up, and he's being punished for it. Again, the Liberator was a good start. The snipe on the spawning pool. No more Lings are in production. Only Roaches. Without Roach speed, we can barely keep up. Behind this, tank production well underway. We have a fast infestation pit. Interesting choice here from DRG. With this fast pit, we can go into a fast hive, into fast vipers. Very similar to the previous game. Not last game, the game before that. Last game was proxy. So you have Cure going for his double drop. Threatening this army. Very limited creep spread here for DRG. He doesn't see. He doesn't know. He's not in position. The Marines, they go for the dive. They catch a worker. And can they bring down the base? Hatchery taking a lot of hits. He's going to be forced back. Now, DRG, he needs to stabilize. He's still not there. He needs a moment to breathe. He needs to calm things down, saturate his 4th base, swap back this army, and respread his creep. But that is so much he has to achieve, and here he's there at every turn to stop him. This rich vesting gas geyser, it's gonna help. Definitely, it will help, but we need more than that. We need more, but Hive halfway done, working on our melee upgrades. It started with Roach Ravager. We're closing things out with Ling Bane. So Ling Bane, Roach Ravager, more creep just receding here. Cure being so active, and DRG, he can barely get any vision on the map. Barely any presence. Again, Cure really just ramping it up to 11. As DRG is going to be able to catch a couple of Marines. A couple of Marines will get picked up. Drop into the main. Does get denied. Again, DRG, he is slowly stabilizing. His creep is really lacking, though, and that's really going to hurt him in the mid-game. once Cure is active with his army. Remember, he's only being active with his drops. The army is finally moving out. And how many tanks? 6 tanks. Now, we saw in the previous game that this was, as soon as this was shut down on Oceanborn, DRG was able to just go for a big counterattack. But I'm not so sure DRG can get that much momentum this time. As the tanks are slow pushing here towards the 4th base. 5th is on the way. They get a very slow, methodical push here from Cure. Miles going to be buying some time. We still have a double drop towards the south. DRG, he has maxed out, but pushing into a pre-sieged army like this is going to be so difficult for the Zerg. But he's going to have to try. He's going to have to go for it. Just trying to buy more time. Baileys will not connect. Vipers have arrived. And here we go. How good are the Blinding Clouds going to be? Pretty good. A lot of the tanks are being covered. But do we have enough on the ground? The tanks, they stand strong. Yeah, they barely do stand. The Marines, they keep on pushing. The hatchery getting very low. The Vipers. Big overextension. One Viper goes down and DRG has to give up on the base. At the same time, here comes that drop. DRG, though, in position. He's in position with that army. Again, roaches that could have been used in the defense. But supply has to be spent here to keep an eye on this drop. That is killing DRG. As Cure, he's just continuing his push. Now, 2 Vipers did survive. They're gathering up energy as we speak here at the natural. But it's only going to be 2 Vipers, not 3. We will have that much less Blinding Clouds available. And the tanks, they all still survived. We got Ultras on the way. Kindness Plating still in production. We're going for the dive. We're going to be committing. Where are the Vipers? Where are the Vipers as 2 tanks go down? But we bleed out so much Ling Bane. The Vikings have arrived. We're going to have to go some parasitic bombs instead, and not ideal. And DRG, he's just being choked out at this point. The Vikings uncontested. The Queens went down. The Vipers are falling to the single Viking. It's going ham. And DRG, he's running out of bases. He's running out of room. There we go. He's pushing in for one final fight. Takes down 2 more tanks. Loses the Ultra. And it looks like Cure, he just has far too much on his side. Behind this, he's happily mining on 3, 4, 5 bases here. Throwing down more CCs. Cure has been left to his own devices. He has been left untouched here back at home. DRG been struggling to survive. Is supply blocked as well. And GG gets called. Cure, he's going to be able to bring this all back, clean this up, and he will take the series 4-3, becoming our very first Duckling Showdown, or Club NV Duckling Showdown champion. GG. GG, well played. Cure was having a bit of a hard time here. Had a strong start, don't get me wrong. He had a very strong start in this series. As we switch our scenes over, we can have a look at a graphic that I haven't been able to show. But we had a very intense series here. We had Cure, of course, taking the first 3 maps. He had a very strong start in the series, taking the first 3 games. And things were looking bleak. Things were looking very bleak here for DRG. And he was able to bring it back on Alkyone, Oceanborn, and Hecate. 3 games in a row. DRG was able to bring it back with his Roach play, by defending against the proxies, by bringing it back here. It was beautiful to see, and we went all the way to Game 7, to the ace match. But here, DRG just didn't really have much of a presence. He barely had room to breathe. He had a good start. Remember, he killed the Reaper. He got up to 3 bases. Like, he had a very strong start to the game. And then, when the Liberator showed up, everything went south. Winding it back, remember, that first Liberator, it took like 2 minutes to deal with. Like, it took so long for the Liberator to be dealt with because we had no spores, because DRG, it slipped his mind. He wasn't really thinking that there would be any Liberator harass or any Banshee harass, so he was just woefully underprepared. That one Lib denied so much mining in the main base. The Hellions were keeping the Queens busy, so the Queens couldn't rotate. If the queens rotated, then the Hellions would dive in, and then in came the drop, right? We had the medevac drop into the main, we sniped the spawning pool, Hellions dove into the third base, they killed 13 drones, everything went south. Very quickly, everything went south there for DRG, and Cure took full advantage of our Zerg player, and congratulations. Congratulations here, DRG. Cure does take it in the end. A shout out to DRG though, because, hey, he made a series out of it, and that's all we wanted here. Forced an ace match in a best of 7 against Cure. Very well done. Very well done here by DRG. And with that, both players will be walking away with some money, so don't fret. Don't fret. It isn't winner take all, thankfully. It isn't winner take all. It is going to be 150 USD for Cure and 50 USD for DRG. So a pretty hefty prize pool here for these two players, and of course, Cure, he walks away with the lump sum of it with 150, but DRG, again, for taking 3 games, walks away with 50 USD. Not too bad. Not too bad whatsoever. A solid night of StarCraft. GG, well played. And I hope you all enjoyed it yourselves as well. Again, this is the very first of something special here. You know, this is our first of many, of hopefully many show matches that we're going to be hosting. It is only going to be Cure and DRG tonight, but next week we'll be having some more players. Our idea, our goal is to make this a weekly tournament. Every single week, I say tournament, weekly show match series. Every single week we're going to be featuring some, not just Koreans, but potentially foreign players as well, from North America, from Europe. We are open to all regions, and we'll be reaching out to certain players to make some show matches happen. And yeah, this is a good one. Again, it's a lot to live up to, all the way to Game 7. Good stuff. Good stuff overall. When it comes to next week's show matches, we still don't have confirmed players. There are going to be 2 though. There are going to be 2 show matches in total. There's going to be our opener show match, our kind of entree, if you will, between Quanta and Mondo. If you're a fan of the channel, if you've been watching the Cranky Ducklings, you would know that I'm a big fan of both players. I love Quanta. He's one of the 3 bears, you know, the Korean Terrans, if you will. You have Percival, you have Quanta, you have Mondo. Sorry, you have Quanta, you have Honmono, and there was a 4th, Jinier. That's it, Jinier. The 4 up-and-coming Korean Terrans. Quanta is one of them, and he's going to be featured. Infamous for his Quanta build, for the Quanta build in ZVT. For those that remember, it is a Thor. It is a Thor drop. It is a Thor opener into a 1/1 double armory, quadruple Thor drop timing. Oh my god, it's been a couple of months since we've seen it, but we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it against Mondo. 100%. We're gonna see Quanta whip out the quad Thor drop in a TvZ. I can't wait. I can't wait. Especially because we have a bunch of new viewers, and again, we haven't casted Quanta in months. It's been like half a year or more since we casted Quanta. So you don't know what the quad Thor drop looks like. It's beautiful. So we'll get there. We'll get there. So next week it's gonna be Quanta versus Mondo. And we also have Creator. Creator is lined up. His opponent still unconfirmed. Unconfirmed opponents, but will be someone to look forward to. So keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for those show matches next week for the Club NV X Duckling Showdown number 2. So mark your calendars. Of course, a big shout to Club NV as well. They are a Korean team, and again, I did reiterate earlier that at one point they did actually house a bunch of players. DRG used to be on Team NV. Cure used to be on Team NV, alongside players like Creator, players like Nightmare as well. They used to have a pretty deep roster, but you know, last year or at the start of the year, start of 2023. Team NV, they lost their main sponsor, and they didn't really have the funds to keep their team going or to pay all their players a monthly salary. But they still want to support the scene. They still want to support the Korean scene. So this is kind of how we can make up for that. You know, we may not be able to support a full team, but we can support show matches on a weekly basis. So that is what we have here. That is our nice middle ground, and we are more than happy to support Club NV in their endeavors to help support the Korean scene and help support StarCraft in general. So yeah, with that, definitely check out Club NV. Unfortunately, I don't think they have any social medias, so a little bit unfortunate there, but regardless, they do a lot. And a big shout out to Into the Inu. Inu was casting in Korean, so we have ourselves casting in English, Inu casting in Korean. So again, he had you covered in that Korean stream. So thank you so much, Inu. Thank you. Also, we'll do our best to I'm already reaching out. We'll do our best to get a logo made as well. It's we weren't quite ready for it. A proper logo for our tournament series. I look forward to it. Soon TM. It's an announcement of something soon to come, maybe. So we'll work on it. We'll try to bring something together, whip something up, and yeah, hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time here in this show match. Hope you all had a great time. Oh, hello, Legal BBQ. Hello. We just finished. we just wrapped up. We just wrapped up. If you missed this series and if you want to tune into the VODs, !YouTube in the chat, you will get a link to our YouTube channel where all of our VODs are uploaded. The individual VODs take a little bit longer to upload, but the stream VODs are all available on YouTube as well, so you can watch them at your pleasure whenever you wish. So check out our YouTube. We also have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. We're on all social media platforms. Check us out there. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much. A bit of a shorter broadcast today. I say shorter. It was a best of 7, 2 hours. It's pretty hefty best of 7. But I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow. Let me just double check. Our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow. We are going to be closing out Home Story Cup. Home Story Cup 24 Group C. The second half of the group. We're going to be casting tomorrow in under 24 hours. So make sure you're a part of that. If you missed out on the group stage of Home Story Cup, if you do want to tune into it, we will be going over the replays tomorrow. So do tune into that. Otherwise, again, next week is our next Club NV X Duckling Showdown number 2. So if you are maybe only available once a week, if you're only available at this time zone, at this time slots, we got you covered next week. But follow us, papi. Follow us. Otherwise, with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll find someone. Not the usual light 8 hours. Yo, I am more than happy to sleep early today. And hold up. Okay, look, you say not the usual light 8 hours. I will have you know, this is the second broadcast of the day. We were live earlier with ESL Open Cup Americas with like a solid 5-hour cast, okay? So, all up, 7 to 8 hours. Look, it all adds up. This is our second broadcast of the day, Terran Lloyd. Aye. Shaking my head. We put in the hours, papi. We put in the work. Always. But yeah, with that, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid, so do check them out. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow for some Home Story Cup action. Until then, hasta luego. Hasta luego. Bye. We'll see you guys next week. We'll see you guys tomorrow.